This is my Arrma Mojave 6S. I've had it since it was released. I was running this HRB 6000 mAh 100C LiPo. Back when I was into bashing a lot, this is how I ran my stuff that ran 6S and above, 4S and above basically, was with these Castle 6.5 bullet connectors. If I wanted to run in series or parallel, I could hook these all together with the ESC leads, and I could, without an external adapter, I could connect these up in series and parallel. She's rolling on a 1580 kV Hobbywing Max 6 and a Holmes Hobby SHV800 direct power servo. It's got M2C Chassis brace, M2C Chassis, M2C drive shafts, and M2C drive shafts here and there in front and back. And the scorched earth, scorched RC parts, wheel well flares to keep the debris from coming. I pretty much got out of the bashing stuff when the crawling bug hit. You get longer run times with crawling. I can still get my bash on with the crawlers, just in a scaled down version, and I get much longer run times. That's what sucked about bashing was, short run times on batteries. If you geared it slower, you could get longer run times, but I was pretty hard on bashing. So, plus I went through a lot of batteries. So batterying got expensive, and keeping the vehicle in shape got expensive because you're always breaking stuff. This video I was running these Proline Sandpaw tires. I've had these for about 10 years. Maybe even more than 10 years, maybe 13 years. Editing this video for slow-mo, I started editing it yesterday, and it's today at 2 o'clock, and I'm still not done editing it. It's a really slow process. I know probably after about a few minutes, people kind of get bored of watching the video. This one's taking a long time to do it because I uploaded the slow-mo clips to the Insta360 editor, then I transformed to a file on my computer, and I shot it at 200 frames per second. I kind of wish I would have shot it at 100 frames per second for a little bit of clarity. But then after I do that, I can change on the Insta360 app. I can change to the file to normal speed, because if you got a slow-mo video, it removes the sound and all that stuff. So I can change it to normal speed, then I re-upload the videos to the file. So I got 2 copies, a slow motion and a regular speed version. And so that's how I'm able to intermix regular speed and slow motion on this. Then what I do is I move them over to my video editor, which is DaVinci Resolve is what I'm using. And I set my timeline up at 30 frames per second. So you're loading a 200 frame per second. You shot a 200 video at 200 frames per second. Then I, from the Insta360 app, changed it to 100, still 200, but I changed it to 100 frames per second and moved it to my computer on a file. Then from that file, going 100 frames per second, I set my timeline up on DaVinci Resolve at 30 frames per second. So you got like it's basically put a 200 frame per second video file on a 30 frame per second timeline, so you can actually slow it down even further without affecting video chop, affecting the video. You won't get that choppiness or anything. And the reason why I reduced it down to 100 frames per second from a 360 editor to my computer file is because it would just be a really big file. It's still 200 frames per second technically, but it's just registering as 100 frames per second. So it's like you're tricking the system. Process is when I'm loading it up on the DaVinci Resolve, I'm loading the slow file first, and I'll cut it, and I'll get a section that I want to work on. And once I get that section worked on, then I move the full speed file over, and then I can connect, join the two together where I want. But it's a slow process. I hope that kind of explains some things. So, like if you're watching my YouTube channel and you click on it, on the stats for nerds thing, it's going to show up as 30 frames per second. But what that's not going to register is the fact that it's a 200 frame per second video that I have tricked the system into believing that it's 30 frames. Anyways, thanks for watching and peace out.